Hello and welcome back to Newsroom Nigeria. This is where we give you hot, fresh, and sizzling news all day long. If this is your first time here, you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Can you be doing on YouTube and you're not subscribed to Newsroom Nigeria? Please go ahead and click on the subscribe button down below. Also, leave your opinions in the comments section below. Without further ado, let's delve right into the details of today's news. Just a few days ago, that is on Wednesday, Tinubu invited Lagos lawmakers to a meeting. And at this same meeting, the same Mudashiru Obasa, who the lawmakers have been complaining about, especially considering his lateness, how he will keep them for hours waiting for him, and then he will just throw in. Without apologizing, without anything, he will just commence the meeting. The same thing he did on Wednesday. And according to reports, Tinubu lambasted him, which I'm very happy about because it means that you do not value other people's time. Fine, you might be busy, you might be late for like 15, 30 minutes. Let people know beforehand that you are going to be late. And then when you come, you apologize. It means that you value people's time. It means that you have a lot of respect for them. It means that you do not see yourself as too big. But in a situation where you come late and then you just waltz in, and then you start the meeting without apologizing, without doing anything. The same thing they did to Sanwo-Olu, the same thing they did to the lawmakers when they had a meeting with GAC at Sanwo-Olu's residence in Lagos. Without apologizing, without saying anything, he just started the meeting. And I'm very glad that Tinubu drew his attention to it and lambasted him, according to reports. You guys, let's take a look at the details. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has allegedly disclosed that he intervened in the reinstatement of Mudashiru Obasa as Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly after detecting the influence of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration in Obasa's impeachment. Sources present at the meeting between Tinubu and Lagos lawmakers on Wednesday revealed to Sahara reporters that the president was concerned about Sanwo-Olu's level of influence in the impeachment process. A source said Tinubu reportedly found it troubling that the executive branch was heavily involved in deciding who should lead the assembly. At the meeting, President Tinubu explained that the reason why Obasa escaped impeachment was because he saw the indelible footprints of a Lagos executive led by Sanwo-Olu in the speaker's removal, and he found it unsettling why the executive would be interested in who should emerge as the speaker, a source familiar with the discussion said. The meeting, which took place at the presidential villa in Abuja, was attended by Obasa, Deputy Speaker Mojisola Meranda, and other lawmakers. The crisis began on January 13 when Obasa was impeached over allegations of corruption and financial mismanagement. Lawmakers initially celebrated his removal as a win for accountability. However, behind the scenes, pressure from APC leaders backed by Tinubu led to his controversial reinstatement on March 3rd. Miranda, who briefly took over as Speaker after Obasa's removal, was forced to step down under pressure from party leaders. She was later compensated with the Deputy Speaker position, though many lawmakers remain upset over what they see as Tinubu's interference. During the meeting, Tinubu reportedly criticized Obasa for arriving late. He said, and I quote, "The Speaker was lambasted for coming late as always. The president spent the first 10 minutes dressing him down," a source disclosed. Can you imagine? He still came late. He still came late to the same meeting with the president, not even, recognizing the fact that, if I'm usually late with lawmakers, at least I'm meeting with the president this time around. The lawmakers, were reported to have gotten there 1 hour plus before Obasa got to the meeting, got to Aso Rock. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? It means he's a perpetual latecomer. And the way he does it nonchalantly with no care in the world for other people's time. Moving on. After hearing argument from both sides, Tinubu urged lawmakers to accept Obasa's return as Speaker. He also directed Obasa to withdraw his court cases challenging his impeachment. The president pleaded that we should allow the Speaker to return as the Speaker, and he directed the Speaker Obasa to go and withdraw his legal applications from the court, a source said. Additionally, Tinubu ruled that all principal officers and committee chairmen should remain in their positions. However, the issue of a House clerk remained unsolved, with lawmakers divided between former clerk Olaliko Onofeko, favored by Obasa, and current clerk Taiwo Otun, preferred by the majority. Tinubu advised that the court should decide on the matter. What are your thoughts? Let's have them in the comments section below. Before we go, guys, let's take a look at some of the reactions we got online. The first comment is from Ogunda Eroyomi, who says, but we can't call Wike, you can't call Wike to order on Rivers crisis because of your 2027 ambition. Time shall tell. Samson Oyebanji says, dog eating shit. Tinubu is not honest with the truth. Is preserving Obasa for the 2027 election. Mobilization of thugs and rigging machines. Only the Agbiru can handle the Agbirus. Gloria Nelson says, Tinubu and Buhari made Saraki's seat so uncomfortable till Lawan became Senate president. How come he forgot that? Well, there is time for everything. Olawale Aris says, so he was not the person that installed Apabio and Tajuddin in the National Assembly. See double standard. I'm sure Obasa Jazz worked wonders on him. What sort of democracy is this when the majority members says they don't want someone to lead them again, and the president decreed he must lead them even after 10 years as speaker? All hail Jagaban, the Democrats. Kola Akere says, unbelievable. Was Tinubu not involved in the selection of Apabio and the speaker? John says, and so what? He is the governor of Lagos State. Obasa does not have any respect for the state government. Ajibade says, when he was the governor of a state, who controls the House of Assembly, members including the speaker, but I pray that APC should lose the state to opposition just to teach them lesson. Emiloko Keji, Kilufe. Lastly, let's take one more comment from Ambrose Emiogidi, who says, which governor in Nigerian's political history since 1999 that didn't had strong influence in the legislature? Help me ask Tinubu, because it seems to think that, that there should be separation of powers, which is obviously the way it's supposed to be. But, the Nigerian politics have bastardized everything. So I wonder why all of a sudden he cares about the separation of power now, because it does not favor him. Just come out and tell us that Obasa is your favorite and you still want him there. Don't tell us because you saw the footprint of Sanwo-Olu and you saw the influence that the executive had on the legislature. Nah, that is not it. Just come out clear to tell us. We all remembered how Senator Ahmed Tinubu masterminded the impeachment of his then deputy governor, Femi Pedro. Akonde Okoyemi says, this is madness talk from president that had killed for him. Let him forget the rubbish he vomited out of his mouth. He didn't want Mr. Governor to choose who becomes leader, and you supported your woman rapper for Senate president. Madu. Yo, let's have your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Thank you very much for always listening and watching, guys. I'll see you all in my next video.